Hi Capricorn, hello, this is Marta with Universal Power Tarot, and these messages we bring you today are supposed to encourage, elevate, and empower you guys. Hi my friends, how are you? So, let me just explain something because I've been asked that, or that question came up. The extendeds are, well, actually, the YouTube reading is one portion, and then there is an extended where we cover more blockages, how you can solve them, where your whole journey is taking you. Okay, just if you're interested, there's Vimeo, there is a ribbon for single extendeds, and there is Patreon. Although I have to say, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to sustain the sign readings, the zodiac sign readings, and I'll explain. By the time this video is coming out, you already saw most likely the video that I posted with necessary stuff that I like, changes that I needed to apply to the channel. Okay, so if you haven't watched that one, go ahead and watch it. It's all in there. All right, let's hop into your reading straight away. So we have for your card here, Capricorn, perception. And I was immediately getting, why are we getting the same cards all the time? Like, this deck holds so many freaking cards. Why are we always getting like the same cards? It seems to be revolving around the same cards. And I gotten kind of like that feeling with the others too, some sort of a, I don't really want to do this kind of a thing. That's the feeling that I was getting, or it doesn't really matter what I do anymore kind of a thing. So I'll read that card to you and then we'll see how we go with your reading here, okay? So the earthly meaning of perception is listen, observe, and better your chances. Rely on your direct experiences. Do not be swayed by reputation, gossip, or a third-party account. Do not be trust your perception and interpretation of a situation. Be wary of gaslighting or of someone who undermines your sense of self and the world around you. Develop and hone your sensitivities. Spiritual meaning is your senses are clouded by thoughts and emotions. Try to distance yourself from others, from what others say. Detach emotionally, quiet your judgment, and clear your thoughts. Find a quiet place, preferably in nature, where you can relax and refresh your perception. Let your instinct guide you to the clear, unmistakable voice that comes not only from your thoughts, but from your soul. So that's that. And then I immediately want to read to you the prayer card that also came out along with your card. By the way, this is of course a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with you. And please only take what's resonating with you and leave the rest behind. If this reading doesn't resonate with you at all, just go check out other readings. Most of them are timeless, like on the video. Just click on the video tab. Most of them are timeless. Like I said, just go with the title and find the one that speaks to you, because it most likely has message in it for you. All right. Dear guardian angel, help me to believe that all is possible through love. Help me manifest my dreams and live an inspiring and fulfilling life. Help me to feel God's presence in every moment. Help me to feel eternally loved. Thank you for being always by my side. All right. Let's have a look at your reading, shall we? What do we have for Capricorn, please? Well, what's going on? Nothing seems to be happening. Kind of like that, almost like lethargy that I'm picking up on here. Like not knowing what to do, not really knowing where to go. Kind of like, okay, then I guess it doesn't matter. I guess then it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, wow. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So what popped out now for you is the Chariot, which is all about self-mastery. It's like, which side do you choose? Which wolf do you feed, right? Light and shadow, and it's mastering both of those. It's not neglecting either side at all. It's being appreciative and being acknowledging of all of those sides and of yourself. And that is true self-mastery, right? And not, again, not pushing parts away, but integrating them. That's what that one is. And that makes you go super fast, right? That makes you, because we're losing energy if we're not in coherence like that. When we're constantly being pulled apart or push and pull kind of a thing, It really is draining. But when we manage to somehow bring these together and get to the point of acceptance, and I really recommend you watch the Aries new moon reading, which I just did prior to your reading. I know they're going to come be published a little bit later. But I really recommend you watch this because it was all about that. Yeah, and then there's fast movement with that once the self-acceptance happens, because it's like you're letting go of the weight. What has been holding you back no longer has a hold on you now, Capricorn. Yeah, the Knight. Yeah, what has had a hold on you, like aggression, maybe, possibly emotions of aggression, or of really I need to get stuff done, but it doesn't work out for me. There's frustration also. And then you have the 5 of coins, which is that sense of lack, that sense of being left out in the cold. And there's also I'm going to be really frank, a sense of victim mentality. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that at all. Accept that too, please, because it does have its place. It does. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's not going to get you to where you want to go entirely if you're trying to move away from it. But for the moment, it's exactly where you need to be. So don't punish yourself for feeling those feelings. That's what that is, because it kind of looks like, again, those opposing forces. And I'm feeling my stomach with that too here. Snake, of course, denotes to healing, but it's also consciousness, you know. It also represents consciousness, like eating from the eating the forbidden fruit, like Adam and Eve, that story, right? And I believe it's the snake that tells them to eat it or something like that. But that's what I'm being reminded of, the tree of life, the tree of consciousness, that actually made us go out of paradise, or because we had to. But there are so many things that are to know about that story. It's not just that biblical format of it, but there are many, many interpretations out there. And but for you, it really only matters what you believe about that story or about your own life, right? And that goes also back to the victimhood mentality. You are the only one that knows what you've been through here, Capricorn, and how much you've suffered, and why it is that you're still in this lack mentality, and why it is also very important, though, that you do take the reins here to like really steer your life in the direction that you want to go into. Let's get more cards. Okay, we're working with the Wildwood Tarot. What else, please? Taking its time, just like with the first one. Whoa, that's a different energy. The 2 of Vessels, attraction. That's the 2 of Cups, which is speaking to soulmates. I didn't expect that, to be quite frank. But it also kind of makes sense, because now from going in opposite directions, it's all of a sudden now they're coming together. This is a very healed heart here in the middle, right? This is you, Capricorn, having your heart healed, and manifestations coming out of that because of it, right? We mentioned coherence. So what I was thinking about is also mind-heart coherence. And when those work and no longer pull you apart, because Swords is always the mind also, right? So much energy is wasted, and it's just like, we're going this way, no, we're going that way, and so forth. You get the picture. But when you have that mind-heart coherence, it's much more easy to like create from that place and to go forth. And it's just, they go together so well, these two, the 2 of Vessels and these soulmates. They're now like, they're mingling, they're mixed now, and they're working together most of all, and taking the lead, both of them. Page of Arrows. Now that can be someone that's eavesdropping, but it's also spirit, like having an ever watchful eye on you and on the situation here, and on the unfolding of events with the Wren here. Page of Stones with the Lynx. That's the Page of Pentacles. again, that stability kind of a thing. It's kind of like in the background, something lurking almost in the background. And I'm very much getting like the subconscious vibes of how that feeling of lack keeps holding you back in different situations, is preventing from abundance to come in, from the right relationships to come in. It's almost like a self-sabotage kind of a vibe I'm getting here. Could also be that you're becoming much more powerful spiritually, and hence your manifestation powers really grow with that, and now it's shown to you much faster like what's off. It could also be that, and then you're just like, holy crap, that's what I've been manifesting, I don't want that. And then you need to shift vibrations and really make sure that you accept and integrate those parts, so they no longer run amok in the background but are rather in the forefront. That's why we shine light on things. That's what shadow work is about, so you can see what you're actually working with internally. And the lynx, of course, is very smart. Wow, there's a lot of spirit animals here. The wren, the lynx, now you have the wolf. Remember we were talking about which wolf you were feeding? King of Stones. Wow, this is so much about stability. And could be about material wealth too. Also the King of Pentacles, and that is... King of Pentacles, of course, in the traditional tarot is one who really knows how to use money as a tool and is very grounded, often down to earth, and is associated with Taurus, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, this one, you could feel like you're a loner sometimes, though. Because that wolf is really alone here, and it's howling, excuse me, it's howling at the moon. Maybe because you are feeling alone, like I said, because we mentioned relationships also when it comes to like abundance. So maybe you are feeling like nothing's working out, and relationships aren't working out. I'm not where I want to be. I wanted all of this to be different. But again, it's because of that self-sabotaging behavior here. And I really would like to draw more cards actually here already on what you can do to help yourself here. This one, yeah, okay. Because this is bugging me, and it seems like it's going in circles, much like I felt with the cards. It's not even worth going any further really here, and you're right about that, Capricorn, because it isn't. This needs to be taken care of first, which is why I'm pulling the oracle cards out now and not going further down the line with tarot, because I feel that's not going to get us anywhere. You need a change in method here. Because if you keep driving your car against the wall is not going to disappear. You're going to wreck your car. Nothing's ever going to change. You need to either drive around it or get out of your car, take a different vehicle, or jump over the wall or something like that. You know what I mean? You cannot keep doing the same thing and expect different results. That's what that is. So, and we're going to switch it up here too. And this is the message here for you also, to switch it up. Do something differently. You have the sacrifice, number 44 breaking down to an 8, and 8 really stands for abundance. So what I'm immediately feeling with this, and we did have, what was it, an energy reading on that. That was the last Patreon energy update that I did that had the sacrifice in it. And this is very much like you must have sacrificed by coming here to Earth, and you must have been through quite a bit here, and it's right on the Five of Pentacles, that lack energy, and the Knight of Swords with that aggressiveness, right? So you must have made a sacrifice by coming here and going through whatever you went through the trauma and everything, because you wanted to. I get the strong feeling you really wanted to make a difference here on Earth. You wanted to change things. You wanted to possibly stop something in your bloodline, in your heritage, and really wanted to dissolve stuff. And for that you do have to go through all these processes, right? And all the abuse possibly, and then you can make an impact by changing yourself, stopping it, no longer allowing it to unfold however it wants to unfold, or people are allowing people like to behave badly, to behave abusive. It's like you're putting a stop to this here, Capricorn. You're just like, no longer allowing people to treat me this way, or myself to treat myself that way, because this is trained behavior also. Like we almost expect others to treat us badly if we've been brought up like this. If everyone around us has always treated us badly, that's what we expect. We don't necessarily expect or see the good things then in people, or first of all, we may be completely blind to them until we start to wake up, and then we may have a really contradictory how do you say, reaction to it by pushing everyone out and away. This is where the heart healing comes in, because with a closed heart, again, it's going to be very difficult to manifest stuff into your life, to manifest goodness into your life, the right relationships into your life. So I feel you may be at that point where you know all that already. And at least for a lot of you here that are watching this, and where you may want to be healing that heart chakra of yours. But you knew this like before you came here, what you were going to go through. It's like those soul contracts. And that's a tough thing to accept too. And you may believe something else, and that's totally fine. That is my belief, so that's why I'm putting it out there, and that's how it feels like. The taming of the wind. Yeah, the taming of the wind. It very much 55. So we have 4 4 and 5 5. These needs to be significant. So 5 5 is the number of change, and we had the number 4 before as well for the stability, right? So yeah, and it's also the 10 breaking down to a 10, breaking down to a 1, which is that new beginning, and the 1 is looking at the other here. It's almost like there's two personality, like the past and the future personality, because they're standing like this. She's looking here, her face is right here, she's looking at her, the other one's looking above and still looking at that sacrifice, what she had to give up in order to, you know, maybe you never had like a proper childhood or anything like that, Capricorn, and still grieving about that possibly, and still being mad and all that, right? And that one is kind of like the taming of the wind, coming in and being like the big sister or big brother that understands all that. So being pulled apart between one thing and the other here, understanding both sides, but still not still somehow not being able to bring them together. But with the Chariot here, I believe you're very much in the process actually of bringing these together. And there's reoccurring patterns here too, also in the pictures. With the taming of the wind, we have what's it called, I'll show you, I forgot, it starts with an A. It's like this. It's not an amethyst, it's an ammonite. Ammonite? I believe that's what it's called, and it's in the perception card as well twice. So definitely about patterns and about becoming aware of them and then changing them consciously. All right. What else for Capricorn? Oh my God, Lord, Aries. I told you, watch the new moon in Aries reading. This is going to be relevant for you here if this resonates with you. So the Lord, take charge with authority. That's exactly what the Chariot is doing too, like taking the reins in hand and making it happen for himself. And that one goes right above the Knight of Swords here, so that there's no more aggression, because those inner parts of ourselves only start to go rampant when they're being ignored or when they're being shoved in the shadows. Nobody likes that, right? It's like putting a crying child in front of the door. You would never do that. Hopefully, don't think those people that are watching here would do that. You don't put a crying child outside just to don't hear the crying anymore. But that's what happens internally so much. We've shoved these pieces and bits of us away because we couldn't deal with them when we were little. So now you're no longer little. You're now taking charge with authority, because you're that adult self now. So the Lord here. Take charge with authority. Don't be afraid to take charge or use your voice. Be strong. The Lord is the consort of the lady, the emperor in the traditional tarot. He represents an authoritative male who isn't afraid to lay down the law. But this doesn't mean he's angry or chauvinistic. He is self-possessed, reliable, and ambitious. A man of honor who has earned his place in society. The Lord in this oracle holds a ram's staff and wears a crown of antlers, showing he keeps himself firmly rooted in the ground and is protective of his people. His regal air indicates he has a taste for the finer things in life, yet he is sensitive to those who are less fortunate than he is. Sometimes you have to take control in order to be honored. If you feel that your kindness or gifts are being taken for granted, it's time to change that. There is no excuse for bad behavior. We mentioned that like word for word, okay? Confirmation. And the ancestors are encouraging you to hold your ground and speak your mind in a fiercely loving way. You have the energy and might to overcome dramas or energies that aren't working for your growth, and it's time to take charge before you find yourself in a situation you don't want to be in. You are being encouraged to be the boss instead of being bossed. This card also brings the energy of ambition and can show you have the potential to move upwards on a professional level, but only if you act with authority and show who you really are. And this is interesting because of course there's fear involved here too, right? When you show who you really are and never were allowed to as a child, let's say, there's a lot going on, and we're going to inquire about that over on Vimeo, Ribbon, and Patreon for your extended, so go check it out if you like. You will, after this, see a little sequence as a preview to you extended if you're interested and want to stay tuned and decide afterwards. And I really hope this was helpful and or insightful to you, Capricorn, and I'll see you next time. Much love, light and shadow. Bye, guys. Possibly, or are you not? I bet you are. I bet you are. And you're no longer repeating the same things that were superimposed to you. You're no longer repeating these traumas. It doesn't mean that you're completely healed. It doesn't have to be, but you're just so much further along that journey. So you really accomplished a lot here, Capricorn. Honor yourself for that, please, okay? There's really like, I don't know, it sounds really cheesy, like a round of applause, but it's more than that. Like really celebrate how far you've come here. I'm serious. This is going to help you heaps also with those stuck feelings here and realizing, because sometimes we think